I'm Nate.
I'm Evan.
And I'm Kyle.
And together, we're the three smart boys. We don't know a lot about anything, so we made a podcast about everything. Let's get into it.
Okay.
What is a regular podcast voice?
It is this. Hello, we are podcasting. Welcome to the podcast.
I'd say that's an intro.
That's the intro. Now, where in those audio waves is the intro? Who knows?
We're pirates.
We're
We're gonna go searching later. And by we, I mean you, Evan.
Yeah.
With the exception of last episode, you have done all of the editing of the audio of this podcast.
Wow. Okay, so we were going to talk about Clockwork Orange because we were talking about it right before we started it, and I said, wait. Let's wait for the podcast to talk about Clockwork Orange.
I personally love Stanley Kubrick. I think his work inspires. I love everything he's ever created with the exception of The Shining. Not that I don't love The Shining,
Okay.
It's just my least favorite, and people seem to get upset about that.
It's probably
There's so many better Kubrick films.
But it's probably because it's the most famous Kubrick film. That's why people are so like
it's
up
the
in arms
most
about
mainstream.
it. Yeah, it's the most mainstream.
That's true.
Because Clockwork Orange, that's a hidden movie. Not a lot of people know about that movie. I would argue.
It's a little bit more hidden. I think you can go deeper into Kubrick and you can probably find some of more of his like Eyes Wide Shut type stuff where like not many people have heard about it because
Tom Cruise, right?
and Nicole Kidman.
That's on Netflix now, right?
They put a lot of Kubrick on Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's not as hidden. It's probably a little more mainstream, but Full Metal Jacket. But not a lot of people recognize that that's Kubrick because it kind of goes outside of his style
Yeah.
of, like, surrealism.
Because that's a very popular film, but nobody goes, oh, that's a Kubrick film.
Yeah.
Like, it's very rare.
I myself have probably seen more Kubrick films in the last 6 months than I have in my entire life because of Nate.
You're welcome. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't care. I'm about it.
I mean, Kubrick in general. Like, do you like him?
I think, yeah, you definitely can't just sit down and doze off. Like, you need to be eyes on the screen 24/7, can't get up to go to the bathroom because you'll go from, hey, we're in a milk bar to, hey, we're fucking punching kids down here
Beating up homeless people.
in about 3 seconds.
Raping women. Yeah, it's a whole thing. But,
That's a spoiler alert if you haven't seen Clockwork
it's been out long enough.
It's an
It's
old
been
enough
out
film.
long enough.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it by now, it's your own
When
fault.
was it made? Like early 90s, late 80s?
Oh, no, I think
Yeah,
it was earlier than that.
I was gonna say 80s, like
Yeah.
mid 80s, I think.
Somewhere.
I
I
don't know.
don't
Who
know.
knows? I don't know Kubrick that well. I can't date things.
Yeah. It's an interesting film to watch for the first time.
Well, and that's the thing is like you have to look past a lot of like how dark it is because that's kind of from my understanding, the whole point of the movie is. And that's what I love about Kubrick is like the way he can just toy with your emotions so effortlessly. Because in the
Yeah.
beginning of the film, you hate Alex.
He's a bastard.
You hate him. Like, you're like, who is this cuck and why is he on the screen? I mean, he has moments that make you laugh and stuff, but, like, in a sick way. Like, it's not good. But then by the end of the film, you feel bad for him. And you're like, oh, the system fucked him. And it's just like, like, I don't know. It's such a weird... It's masterful is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the only... We've been working up to 2001: A Space Odyssey with Kyle because he's seen Full Metal Jacket, he's seen Clockwork Orange.
Mm-hmm. I've obviously seen The Shining, but I watched that when I was like 10.
Yeah, I mean you watched that on your own because most people have seen that. I was probably gonna take you to Eyes Wide Shut next, and then finish it up with 2001: Space Odyssey because that's just a good film.
I tried watching 2001: Space Odyssey once by myself. The intro was just... I was not in a Kubrick... Yeah, I was not in a Kubrick mood.
You need
Because
to be
you
in
have
a
to be in a
Kubrick
mood for a Kubrick film. It's a work. It's a lot of work to watch a Kubrick film.
And that's the thing is like it's not passive movie watching, which is what we're used to nowadays. I mean, you have to be invested.
It's
like,
active. You have to be searching for meaning.
Yeah, especially in 2001.
Yeah.
Wow.
The intro is long and dry.
And like it's once you understand the purpose of it, it's
it
like,
makes sense.
Damn.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
That whole movie's kind of that way though, because it's like it's so surreal and out there, but like there's so much meaning that you have to dig for, and once you find it, it's like, oh, this movie's amazing. Like there's a reason it's a critic revered film.
Yeah.
Like it just takes time to get there, I guess. I had to watch it a couple of times before I understood it and liked it, and I don't think I'll ever fully understand that film.
No,
because it's so out there.
I don't even know if Kubrick fully understood his film. Just kidding.
No.
Just kidding.
No, that boy.
Anybody
That
really
boy knew what he was about. I mean, the amount of research he did going into movies and then like the perfectionism of his filming. I mean, it's very precise.
So for Clockwork Orange, was he going around beating up homeless men and raping women?
I don't know as much as
research.
I wouldn't know if that's as much research. I don't know what he did for that film, but I'm sure Kubrick is known for his level of perfectionism. Like, his actors, like, will talk about it, and like critics talk about it. It's just what he was known for. In fact, like, there are even jokes about it because people say that Kubrick had a hand in staging the moon landing. Like, that's the conspiracy theory. And so the joke is that even if Kubrick had a hand in it and he directed the moon landing, he's such a perfectionist, it would have just actually happened on the moon. Like, he would have filmed on site.
Was Kubrick even, like, a known director when the moon landing was happening? Like, because that was a while ago.
It was it's 2001: A Space Odyssey. It came out in the late 60s. He was around. Yes, he was around.
And we're only talking about, like, his really known works.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm sure, yeah, Kyle's on that Google life.
No,
1968, the year my father was born.
So yeah, he would have been. That's 2000. Damn, I did not realize 2001: A Space Odyssey was that old.
I thought it was way more modern than that.
Ahead of its time.
I thought it was like made in the 80s, like, or something. Fuck.
April 3rd, 1968.
Wow.
I think that was his first film.
That's timeless.
Well, his first large film.
Yeah.
Because I could have sworn the majority of his films came out in the 70s. Because he was a big 70s guy.
I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I'm not one
He
for
looks
dates.
like he's straight out of the 70s. Even when
Yeah,
he was
he
like
did.
living in the 90s, he was like, no, this is the 70s.
Yeah, that's what he looked like. He was a big boy too.
A big boy.
He just looked like a director. Like, if you've ever seen pictures, like, he just looks like someone who you're like, oh yeah, he probably directs film.
I don't think I've ever seen a picture of Kubrick.
Just go searching one night. Whenever you're alone, you're just looking for something to jerk your little ding dong to. Go ahead. Go. You can look up some Kubrick pictures.
Oh, I bet he makes good movies. Such good movies.
And that just shows that the three smart boys will take any topic and loop it right back around to masturbation.
I bet you can find full-length Kubrick films on Pornhub.com.
Probably.
They have so much.
They put, like, the entire Cars movie on Pornhub, so... I mean,
just wrong.
I do have.
But I agree with it.
I do have a favorite Pornhub video though, and I'm sure both of you know what it is.
I know
We've talked about this before
We've
on
talked
the
about
podcast.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
It's too good. I bring it up every time Pornhub's brought up. So I feel some sort of obligation.
Now, have you been to Cornhub?
I have.
I have, yeah. I think
Pornhub
somebody
is the shit.
told me to go there last year.
Yeah.
Some.
Because we were doing that thing where we were just photoshopping corn into random photos, and that took us to Cornhub. And I mean, I had been on it prior, but yeah, I do remember that resurfacing semi-recently. That wouldn't even be semi-recently. Fuck, was that like a month ago?
That was, yeah, it was a while ago.
Gosh, the semester's flying, man.
Because I think we were like photoshopping shit before we even really started doing the three smart boys shit.
We were,
I think,
like, by a bit.
Yeah, like
by a bit,
a couple weeks.
Yeah. Well, because then we started having ideas about like other videos. And,
yeah.
And then we were like, hey, none of these ideas fit. Let's just make it its own thing, which I think we've talked about on the podcast again before. This is our recap podcast. Apparently, we're just bringing up old subjects.
And hopefully you listened to the last one, because at the end of the last one we said, hey, post pictures of your feet in the comments, and we did not get a single foot pic.
I'm disappointed, frankly.
Nope.
I mean, I'm about to quit this podcast if we can't even get our fans to friggin' post feet pics. That's all we asked.
I understand that, like, you can't actually post the pictures in the comments, but you could have linked it. You could have posted it somewhere and linked it to us.
That's all we need.
They could have put it in one of those like picture to text like editors. Like, you know about that, where it's like ASCII art, and just posted it that way. An ASCII art of a foot. That's not too much to ask people.
Look.
All I have to say is if I don't get a foot, I'm out.
We're not asking
1 foot.
We're not asking for subs. We're not asking for likes. We're just asking for feet. This is a simple request. We even had one listener listen to it fucking like 3 days early, and I didn't get any pictures of her feet. I'm bitter all around.
Wow.
We got no feet.
What's up with our fan base?
Send us your feet, peeps. That's all we want. That's the new Three Smart Boys motto. Send us your feet, peeps.
Hey, link to our merch in the description.
We don't have merch.
We don't have
Not
merch.
yet, but we are going to have link us your feet tees for sale. Hats too.
That was a mess of a sentence.
We should make socks.
Of feet?
Of
Yeah.
feet. 4 feet.
Toe socks. Toe socks
That
of
look
feet.
like feet.
Okay, that's not a bad idea though. That's the sort of shit millennials would get on board with.
Yeah, they
Because did
would.
you see the swimsuit that just like it was
Yes.
a women's one piece that looked like a male body?
Yes.
People would go in on some like hairy leg, like little hobbit feet socks.
I'm pretty sure they already exist.
They have to.
They have to.
Oh.
But
they're
if not,
but they're not.
don't
Three
even
Smart
try
Ones
because
brand.
by the time this is posted, we're gonna have it ready. We're gonna have the. No, we're not. I don't have the capital to start my own business. I apologize.
Well, you do. It's just not yours. You're rolling in money right now. You just can't touch any of it.
What do you mean?
All your DSP stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about the frat shit.
Yeah, Kyle's handling some funds.
Yeah, I'm fundraising chair for my fraternity, and I did a very large fundraiser, and I have a lot of money on hand that's going to be placed in the bank well before this comes
Or
out.
misplaced.
It is not going to be misplaced. I know exactly where it is, and I know exactly where it needs to go, and I know exactly who would take it if anybody would take it, so the police will have no
Now, the
problem.
fact that you would even insinuate that I would take your money is beyond me. I would get somebody else to do it because I'm not an asshole.
Do you want me to take his money?
Well, now he knows that you're one of us.
Exactly.
We'll have to find another person
We could get Billy to do
to
it.
not take Kyle's money.
We could not get Billy to not take Kyle's money.
I like the way you don't think. Okay, Evan, did you have anything that you wanted to... I feel like we were talking...
Well,
Other than the Clockwork Orange
I was
stuff.
just saying how the only shit I really have to talk about is just like shit that's currently going on in my life. I know. Okay, so a couple podcasts ago, we talked about the Game Jam game that me and my friend were working on. Now we released an official build version of it. It's a complete game officially. It's an official game.
Where can our listeners find this game?
On Game Jolt, it's called Down Under, but I'll just post a link to it because
Okay.
I'm gonna upload the video.
Link in
so
the
I might as well
description.
put the
Link to
in
the description.
If I don't put the link in the description, fucking
Comment on it.
comment the hell out of us.
Also, comment and then link pictures of your feet.
Pictures of your feet saying, "Hey, where's the link?"
If you
bitch?"
want to play this game, you have to post one foot pic. Then we will put the link in the description.
No. You pay to play as you're paying. Evan's going to have microtransactions, but you can only pay in pictures of your feet.
But yeah, so that game's officially released. It's got like 2,100 views on Game Jolt and like
It's a lot more than it had.
yeah, it's boosted in the past week and it's got like 420 some plays. So
420?
yeah, no, it was actually 420 earlier today. So weed,
I as well inject marijuana.
drugs. But yeah, so that's a thing. That's a cool
That's
thing.
an exciting
It's
thing.
officially released. Now we're going back to working on Feathers of Fury, and that's gonna be a
always good.
thing, maybe, hopefully.
Oh, and all of us, Kyle, to my knowledge so far, have been participating in No Shave November, and I gotta say, Evan, I love what's coming in.
Really?
I'm a fan. I said it before. You could probably grow a very like business professional beard.
I was honestly laying in bed last night thinking I should shave.
Don't you dare.
Okay.
It's filling. It's not patchy. Like I'm
Well,
working with
no,
some.
no,
Well,
no,
it's always
no,
patchy down
yeah,
here, but like
okay.
you can't see that your jawline's too just like distinct.
Why, thank you.
Yep.
I mean, your beard actually is like
It's-
full enough.
Well, yeah, because
Like-
I mean, I kind of started before November, and like
It's kind of same
so
for me.
a little bit, but like this is the longest it's ever been, and I feel disgusting because it won't grow in on the sides, and that like it won't completely like
I mean,
get
it's,
there.
It's grown in enough.
I have the rest of November, and we'll watch how it goes. So
About halfway through.
Maybe we'll post on our Instagram like
Beard pics.
and the end beard pics.
A
Yeah,
beard pic of all three of us.
yeah, because Kyle will have nothing on his face.
Yeah, I don't have a beard.
Kyle can't grow facial
I don't.
hair.
Hey, it's a blessing.
It is a blessing. Shaving like at least once or twice a week is a bitch. It's too much work. I can't do it.
Honestly, like I'm kind of getting used to it, like the whole not shaving thing, and I mean it's not looking awful, so it might become a new norm. Hopefully, I don't know. we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we had to
smash the keyboard.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of early for me to talk about what I wanted to talk about.
I'll talk about my job.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Kyle's got a job.
I got a job.
He's a working man.
I'm a working man now.
Man in uniform.
I do wear a uniform. I work for Ball State Dining. I will not say which dining hall because I don't want it to be traced back to them. But it's awesome because I get to wear a chef's coat. I don't know if any of you listeners have worn a chef's coat.
No, he doesn't get a hat.
Yes, I get a hat.
You get a hat? No.
Hat.
Like an actual...
Oh, not a chef's hat. No. It's a really, really crappy ball cap that barely fits my head. But I got to wear a really cool chef's jacket, and I enjoyed it.
Oh, you were one of the few? Because we were talking about that yesterday.
Yep, I was one of the few. Because I could wear polos.
Yeah. Explain the whole shirt system in general, because it's
fucked. So how they do this, they don't want to give people shirts. I don't know why, but they don't. So
like pay for your own.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's stupid.
So when I show up for work, I have to go back to the laundry room and pick out a shirt that has been washed because other people have worn them. There's just a wall of shirts that I have to pick from. I find my size and I put it on. Now, the nice thing is that it is freshly laundered. Thank God. And I did a sniff test. They don't stink a lot. They do stink a little. But I don't know. It's
gross.
It's still really gross.
I don't think it's that gross. Like,
I don't know. I'm used to it. I wore a shirt for 4 hours today and it didn't bother me.
I can tell you, as like a person who has done mascotting, wearing another person's sweaty anything is always going to be kind of gross.
Yeah,
it is gross.
You get over it pretty quickly.
You get over it very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, so basically there's two choices I have. I can either wear a polo or I can wear this chef's jacket. And your boy picked out a chef's jacket because when are you going to be able to wear a chef's jacket unironically?
I don't even
Halloween.
know. What even is a chef's jacket?
It's just a jacket for chefs.
Yeah.
Like a white jacket?
It's like that.
No, it's black.
With the buttons.
Oh,
Yeah.
the buttons
And it's got one, the top button doesn't, or you shouldn't. Most people don't button, so it just flaps around. It's awesome.
Do you have an ascot on as well?
I do not have an ascot on.
You should invest in an ascot.
And a hat.
I don't
chef's
know.
hat.
Will they let you wear a chef's hat?
No, they have to wear their hats or their hairnets, and I'm not wearing a hairnet.
Can you put a hairnet and then put the hat on?
Make sure double coverage.
Because then you're wearing the hairnet, you're following their rules.
And then you look like a bad... You'd walk out of the kitchen, everybody would stop and be like, damn, what a badass.
Well,
Look at that boy.
Most of the time, I'm back in the kitchen. I'm not really up front, which is really nice because, I mean, having to talk to people is annoying. Because, like, this morning, I had the pleasure of working with these two middle-aged to older women. They were really, really freaking nice. Yeah, they were so nice.
Home.
I will not name names, just, for, reasons of...
Posterity.
Reasons. Yeah.
Because they were babes.
I will not deny nor accept that fact.
Kyle's robbing the grave.
I'm joking. These they both are married women, and
not for long.
And at one point they were both bitching about their husbands, and I was laughing. Okay, this is I now understand that this is coming off
Digging yourself a grave.
Very sexual.
Kyle said it was my first day at work. There were two older females, and they were both just complaining about how awful their husbands were, and needless to say, he slid right in.
Whatever. All I did with them this morning was make sausage and bacon. Fuck!
I bet you made some sausage.
I need to rethink what I have to say. Okay. I also took some frozen carrots and some frozen corn and put them in tubs and then threw them in this oven thing. It was great.
Oh, so you were cold and then you got warmed up?
I mean, I was at a pretty decent temperature. They've got a pretty
put them in an oven?
I did put it in an oven,
heating things up?
He had two saucy ladies to keep him warm. He was not cold.
Did, yeah, and a nice, sexy chef's jacket.
Whatever.
But they were all over that.
Whatever. Anyways, the second half of my shift, I was quote-unquote an extra. So that means they will throw me wherever they want.
Oh, they got to position you wherever they wanted.
I think that's called a gimp.
So I was thrown up to the deli area where
they gave him
you can make sandwiches, but I didn't get to make the sandwiches because they said that would be too hard for me on my first day, so I made salads.
They don't want to make him too hard on his first day.
So
making sandwiches too hard.
I don't know. It just makes. I guess salads are easier, and they were because I was able to pick it up in literally 1 second. I watched her do it once, and I was able to do it. It was that easy.
I suppose.
And it was kind of cool. And then this one chick came up to me, which I have to, people have to tell me what they want in their salad. And because I don't know, this isn't a salad bar like everywhere else.
Did you give her the sauce?
Hold up. Hold up. I'm getting to a great place, and I know you're excited. So I would start. We have 4 different types of lettuce. They would pick what kind of lettuce. Then they could put meat and cheeses in there for an extra $1.50, which is a fucking steal.
Say that just a little slower.
$1.50 motherfucking cents.
Oh, I thought you were talking about putting in the meat for $1.50 because that's some cheap prices.
All right, hold on. Okay, Evan, this is for you in post.
Don't
add some sexy music,
you
please.
You know he was already gonna add the sexy music.
Anyways, let's keep going. Now let me do my story.
Okay.
Don't interrupt until you will know when to interrupt.
Sorry.
Okay.
You will know.
So, it basically, I'll go over it again. 4 different types of lettuces. And then we've got meats and cheeses plus egg that you can throw in there. Whatever. It was fun.
Yolk it up.
And then, put in all these different kinds of veggies. And this one chick said, put edamame in there. And I had no clue what that was. And she had to point that out to me. I was like, oh, that's what that weird looking thing is over in the corner. And I had to put that in her salad. And then I asked her what kind of dressing she wanted. And I don't remember. So I'm just going to say ranch because that's what most people get. And then I tossed her salad for her.
I knew that's where it was leading to. You knew I was going to ask if you tossed that poor girl's salad.
I tossed probably a good 50 salads this morning, and I enjoyed myself.
Wow, man. You're a star.
I am a tossing salad star.
You might want to get tested, though.
Possibly.
Yeah. Did you wear gloves? Did you wear rubbers?
Yes, Yes, you have to wear gloves.
Protection is, otherwise you're going to get salad diseases.
Salad diseases are the worst. Salad transmitted diseases.
I think the correct term is salad transmitted infections.
They're STIs now. They're STIs now.
Because the fucking snowflakes couldn't handle disease.
Honestly,
why did they change it?
I don't know. It made sense. STD sounds scary. STI sounds gay.
STI sounds like something like a child gets.
Yeah.
Not like a man. Herpes is a man's disease.
I went chlamydia because I'm a man.
Whatever. Okay, I don't know. I did not plan that you guys were going to start doing sexual innuendos. But I completely forgot about the whole, tossing the salad thing. And then it hit me. And I'm glad that you guys started the sexual innuendos because that was a great bit.
You covered hers with a nice white dressing.
Yeah.
A white dressing.
Yes.
A white, thick, creamy.
It was not as thick as you'd want it to be.
Never is.
Is your semen creamy?
I'm talking about ranch dressing.
We're talking about salads, Evan.
Yeah. Whoa.
And he filled her with his edamame. And then
Edamame is just soybeans.
It looked weird to me. Okay.
And some of them do look weird.
You're
gonna have to get used to that.
It was like green
it's a lottery.
and orange.
Whoa, she needs to see a doctor.
Did you say green and orange?
Yeah, it was like a weird. I don't know.
I hope you didn't put your edamame anywhere near that.
I didn't, dude. You know me.
Oh. Not without the proper protection, because you don't want to get salad transmitted infections.
No, have you ever just eaten a bowl of edamame?
I was really worried you were gonna go a different place with that.
Have you ever eaten ass?
No. So the first question.
So have you ever had a bowl of edamame with just salt and a little bit
I've
of
just
lime
had
on it?
like the little beans itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the little pods and you just pull them out.
No, not in the pod, out of pod.
Oh.
But because they do that. Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan.
I don't know. I like it.
It was all right.
Maybe you need the pod game to pull it, because then you have to work for it a little bit. It's kind of like a peanut. It gives you that little extra bit of reward.
You have to work.
You have to work for your peanuts.
Yeah, you have to work for your peanuts.
Wow. I believe this is a record because every single podcast we've taken things sexual at least once. In some podcasts, multiple times.
We take things multiple times sexually every time. No,
we take a lot sexually.
I consider this podcast the power bottom of podcasts.
Generates all of the power.
No. It can receive a tremendous amount of power.
I think that could be a podcast in its own. Talking about a power bottom. So I don't think we need to get into
it. Because it's a whole subject.
It's a whole thing.
Okay, I did want to look at one quick thing though while we were back. I think maybe next time I kind of had the idea just because of this, because I just posted a picture before we started recording this to the 3 Smart Boys Instagram account. Go ahead and check that out. It's just 3 Smart Boys, not that hard to find. But I figured maybe next time I'll post a picture just before we get into the whole thing. And then maybe whoever likes or comments on the picture as we're doing it, because I've gotten a couple of likes as we've been going through this. Maybe I'll just shout them out or something or say something. All right. Now I don't really spend any time on 4chan because that's a hellish website.
Yeah.
We spend all of our time on 9gag.
No, I do spend a lot of time on Reddit though. And Reddit does have a subreddit that's just 4chan, and I found this on the 4chan subreddit, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and read this 4chan post off for you boys, since this is the recap podcast, and we've already tied back to 2 things, and this one's drastically important. Okay, it reads, I did the math, and according to research, Wikipedia, the average length of a penis varies from 5.1 to 5.9 inches. I went for a safe 5.5 inches for an average. The average radius from the core center of the penis to the skin on the outside is 0.75 inches. Now from this, we can roughly find the volume with the pi times radius squared times height. This comes around as the average penis being 9.72 cubic inches. Next, I found the volume of the average human adult male. I had to first find the weight, which according to Alex Schlesingermans, that's a gross last name, the physics fact book, is 70 kilograms or 154 pounds. Weight is found by multiplying an object's mass by the force of gravity, 9.81 meters per second. After taking gravity out of the equation, the average mass of an adult human male is 7.14 kilograms. I then found the volume by dividing this number by an average density of a human, according to Wikipedia, 985 kilograms per meter cubed. The volume of the adult male was then found to be 0.0072516,316 cubic meters. Utilizing the volume of the average penis I found earlier, 9.72 cubed, I get 0.001592828 meters cubed. This means the penis is 2.19% of an adult male's volume. Assuming a lack of testosterone or female hormones makes the person a female, balls ignored for ease. Fucking a trap is only 2.19% homosexual.
Holy shit.
Boom. Advanced faggotry, ladies and gentlemen. How does that make you feel? I mean, I think that settles the argument.
I feel attacked.
That's math. I side with Evan on this one for those who heard him squeak that little one in there. But no,
because I squeak a lot of lines in.
Evan squeaks a lot of things. His little edamame pods just
fucking grab
little beans of wisdom thrown out. But no, I think that finally settles the argument about whether or not traps are gay. They are, but it's just a little bit. So I mean, that's 2.19% is not significant by any means.
You're just curious at that point.
You really are. If I drink 2.19% of a soda, that's like a sip. I'm golden. Then it's just oh, I tried it. You've sampled the soda at that point. You didn't drink the soda.
So you're saying you can fuck a trap once and be straight, but if you fuck several traps, then you're gay.
You do have to be careful. You do have to, because it will compound. It will compound, because it's not just 2.19% once. It's because it's going to be 2.19% gay every time you do it. So it does compound.
But does it refresh after a time? Do you can you only fuck a trap once a month?
Maybe if you do some statistically hetero things.
Yeah. So fucking a girl.
Yeah, is that what that is?
It's going to take 34.364261 times
for you to be gay.
Of fucking traps.
To be 100% gay.
34 and a third times.
Round up, 35.
35 times to be 100% gay.
I like those odds.
In a lifetime or
a
year?
That means I'm only 3 off.
But at what point, I think the real question that science needs to ask is what percent does a straight male become a homosexual male?
100% gay.
You think so? Because I think it's just at over 50. Anything over 50%.
Is categorized as gay. I think,
because you would enjoy men more than
50% is bisexual.
There you go.
Bisexual. And then I'm sure there are like 60 other like genders or like, you know, sexual orientations between that and being just straight gay.
So like you fuck one trap and you're already like an alpha XXYZ.
Something like that, and your pronouns are like bed sheet. And, you know, what the fuck else ever?
Bed sheet.
Is that Michael Jackson's son? I didn't know he was a
Blanket.
Can we just talk about the fact that it was funny to hear Kyle say that's Blanket?
That's not his name. That's his nickname.
Really?
Yes, that is not his real name.
You know a lot about Michael Jackson's kids.
I do.
Are you Michael Jackson's son?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
What's his real name then?
I don't know. I just know it's not Blanket.
But the fact that everybody still calls him Blanket is something to account for.
It's because it's easier to remember.
What if his name's like Blake or something? We all call him Blanket.
Blake. Blanket.
Oh, it's because it's Michael Jackson Jr.
Why would you not want to just go by like
MJ Jr.
or like MJ or like Mikey or any of the other nicknames that could go along with that?
I just don't think. I don't know. Maybe he just didn't like his dad that much. He didn't want to be associated
or
with his dad.
If you go off of like Jackson Jr., you could be like JJ. Like you could go with a lot of things there, or just Junior.
Yeah.
Wait, no. I'm sorry. It's not Michael Jackson II. It's Prince Michael Jackson.
Oh, his first name is Prince.
Yeah,
And
I think his first name is Prince Michael.
Prince Michael, come here. I need you to lick my ass.
Where did licking ass come from?
I don't know. It just seemed right.
I'm not. It did. Hey, Evan. Licking ass is always gonna seem right. That doesn't mean it is. I have been in numerous situations in which licking ass seemed like the only way out, but if you're creative, you might just find some other solutions. You got to think through it, though.
I mean, they trick me every time. They're like, no, it's just chocolate. It's just chocolate. It's never chocolate.
After a certain amount of time, you just got to realize, Evan, it's not going to be chocolate. I mean, I guess you could go with if you keep doing it enough times, one of these times is going to be chocolate. Stick with that.
They might have eaten chocolate
until
you get
to about 35. Then you got to cut it off. You're getting dangerously close.
No, at 35, I'm already gay at that point.
Okay.
You get about 33.
Okay.
All right. So I've done a little bit more research in that little minute there. He was always Michael Jackson II. So he was Michael Jackson Jr. when he was little, and his nickname was Prince. So then that's why people call him Prince Michael Jackson II.
This bitch has two nicknames?
And now nobody calls him Prince anymore because obviously Prince.
Yeah.
The other artist.
May he rest in
and he
peace.
also, you know.
I think you mean the artist formerly known as Prince.
Yeah. The late Prince.
That's a Prince joke for any
and
of our
at
listeners
some
who know
point,
Prince.
I don't know where or when, they started calling him Blanket. And I don't know why.
Is it because of the whole window thing?
He walked in.
That was a balcony.
He said, "Mom, I am a grown adult male now, and I would prefer to be called Blanket."
I'm not a child.
Okay, all right. Well, since we're, I mean,
you can start your topic.
Yeah, we should go ahead.
Start.
Okay. All joking aside, there is something, and I know last episode we say we try to stray from things that are more serious, but there are some things that are just serious enough that deserve to be brought up, and especially through
Our trap's gay.
Yeah, no, especially through this platform, which is the platform that we use, which is this wonderful thing called the internet, specifically YouTube, but overarching just the internet. They're calling it a battle. That's really what it is because we fought it before and we're fighting it again. But there's this lovely thing called net neutrality.
Ooh, boy.
And it's the concept that we have the right to do what we want on the internet. The internet is a free scape. I mean, you obviously have to pay for internet service, but that just kind of comes along with it. But they're trying to take away net neutrality, and essentially they can block off sites depending on what you pay, is the way that they do it. So the way that it'll end up being used is to censor our internet.
Not even necessarily like block off entirely. They could just slow it down insanely badly.
Yeah. They just that's what they do, but that's how they block it. Is just by really slowing it down. So they can effectively censor the internet, which nobody wants. That's not good for anybody, especially the content creators on YouTube. I mean, like, we're obviously not making anything off of this, but like, we enjoy this, and I know I've had some people say they enjoy listening. So, I mean, it's an important enough topic that I felt like it needed to be discussed. They're passing a vote in December, and it's the FCC, and it looks like once it passes through Congress, like the last net neutrality vote, it'll pass. Like, the last one didn't, because we made enough phone calls and pissed enough people off with our bitching to tell them to stop. Like, this isn't what we wanted, and they listened to us, because this has already happened before. They've already tried to pass these laws that will effectively censor internet, and we've stopped them. So we've done it once, but it's coming back, and they're passing a vote in December, and once it passes, essentially that's what it'll do. But the fight isn't over yet. I think so far, based off of the last count I saw, about 21,000 calls have been made to Congress, which is a lot, but we can always do more. So for like all 30 listeners that we have, like, this is important enough to me to bring up. There's a website called battleforthenet.com. Go ahead and go to that, and you just type in your phone number, and they'll give you a speech on like what to say. So if they'll put you through, it'll patch you through to Congress, essentially, or, whatever voicemail box.
1-800-CONGRESS.
whatever voicemail box we get patched through to, and essentially just saying, hey, don't pass this vote to end net neutrality. We want net neutrality. Like, we don't want, like, internet service providers tampering with our internet. Like, we have the freedom of speech. Everything is protected under the First Amendment. This is our right as American citizens to do what we want. I mean, within reason. Like, you can't go like, there's the reason there's a dark web, but like, we don't want everything blocked off. And it was an important enough subject for me to bring up, so I just thought it needed to be.
Yeah.
I don't want my small porn sites to be taken down, please.
I mean, it could literally. So to put it in layman's terms,
Pornhub will live.
Because it's kind of hard to explain. I guess I've always had an issue. An issue explaining it. But I know a lot of people are familiar with the recent EA debacle with the whole microtransaction thing, which we didn't want to get into because it's too big of a thing. It's already passed. But the reason that happened was they make you pay for a game, and then they make you pay more inside the game, essentially to play the game. That's what a vote against net neutrality will do. So you're already paying for internet service, but then you'll have to pay effectively more and more and more to access the sites you want to access, because they'll be slowing it down so much. So it's under the guise of you're paying for better internet connection, but it's not better internet connection. They're just censoring our material.
Yeah. And another thing that a lot of people are saying is, but it's fine if it passes, because then the companies that run the websites, they'll pay the ISP companies to get better connection. But the thing is, though, then we're gonna have to pay the websites more money, because the money doesn't just come from nowhere. Like, the websites aren't just gonna be like, oh, here's a bunch of money, take it from me, please. Like, eventually it's all gonna come back on the consumers regardless. Like, the consumers are gonna end up paying for it no matter what. So, I mean, people keep trying to make that argument, and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
And it's frustrating, because it's like, we've already done this once. How many more times do we have to do it so that, like, they listen to us? Like, that's kind of the point of a democracy. You're supposed to listen to the people. We told you not to do it once. Well, it makes you think literally a couple months later we're going to think it's okay. Like, I was talking with Evan about this, and I really think that they were just hoping that, like, it would go by unnoticed. Like, because I don't know by how much it passed the first time, but I can't imagine it was that much. Like, because a lot of people, I know it was all over the Reddit communities and all over a lot of internet forums that people were just saying, hey, go call your congressman, call your state representative, let them know that you don't want this vote. And then we made it happen, and we're going to have to make it happen again. Hopefully it drives the fucking point home that we don't want our internet censored, because that's what it's going to do. It's frustrating to me. Like, it's the one thing that we have to be free. And, like, we've talked about that before, like how we like creating content because it's our content. It makes us happy to create, and this will effectively make it harder for us to create and put that content out there. So And I know everybody's talking about that right now, but I mean, not enough. So whatever small difference me ranting about it makes on this fucking podcast is good enough for me. If all of two listeners call that, I mean, yeah, cool. Like, yeah, that works for me.
Also, while you're calling your congressman or writing him a letter or whatever, send him a picture of your feet and say, hey, don't.
The 3 smart boys sent us with just pictures of your feet.
You're going to wake up with a foot in your bed, bitch.
but no, once again, the site is battleforthenet.com. Or you could just Google Battle for the Net, and that'll bring you right there.
We'll put it in the description.
We can put it in the description.
We have that power.
We do right now because net neutrality is still a thing. So we've got that going for us. But
if you want to be able to post your pictures of your feet on our podcasts, in the comment section, call your congressman. But first,
they're gonna ban all feet.
Send us a picture of your feet.
They're trying to ban our feet, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to ban our feet.
How are you gonna walk?
Your feet.
That is the
your
American
feet.
People's feet. Is that cool with you? Because it's not fucking cool with me.
I don't want to live in a world where there's no feet pics in comment sections. That's all I have to say.
That's a dark world.
That is a dark
very
world.
Dark world.
Two things that'll make me just kill myself. Danny DeVito dying. Happy birthday, my boy DD. He's 73 today on the day that we recorded this. And if I live in a world where there just aren't feet pictures in comment sections, that's not a world I want to live in.
Yeah.
And I won't live in it.
This
is me right now saying if the net neutrality vote doesn't pass, I'm killing myself. Call your congressman. Send us your feet. Damn, that would have been a good outro, but we still got time left.
No, we can end it at 40 minutes. It's fine.
A little lighter of an episode.
Yeah, it's
going into the holidays because we got Thanksgiving coming up.
Yeah, look, we're fucking busy, okay?
Hey, we're people too.
Hey,
we have lives.
We have
kind
feet.
of.
We have feet. We take pictures of them, okay?
We post them in said certain comment sections. Not our own, because we're not monsters. That's self-promotion, and we will not do that. But we do want your feet, ladies and gentlemen.
God damn it, if I don't get a single goddamn foot pic, I'm not doing another podcast, Nate.
Now that we've brought this up and we're at a weird feet place again, do you just want to bring up your boy Hosey? Because that was
Hosey,
really
how's it going, my dude? How is it going?
Because that's the weirdest shit you do.
It's your boy, Dad Kyle, over here, giving you some love. Send pictures of your feet,
foot
Hosey.
Love.
Please, Hosey, I want just pictures of Hosey's feet.
I bet Hosey has nice feet. Do you think he gets pedicures?
Boy, I bet you that man gets the best Asian pedicures ever.
Them's about to be military feet.
Yeah.
Those are gonna be man's feet.
Those are gonna be in boots on the ground.
I love a good boot.
On the ground.
I prefer when the boot is off and it's just feet.
You're not wrong.
There's nothing more sensual to me than watching someone take off their shoes.
No, this is okay. So I think I enjoy a socked foot better because then
it's the mystery.
Yeah,
it's what's under that sock.
It's you kind of your mind does the work for you. I mean, sometimes
you
your
just
mind
gotta
makes
imagine.
it. Yeah, your
now,
imagination.
What kind of sock, though?
Any kind of sock. I don't care.
Any kind of sock?
My sock
Possibly
right now,
one with a hole because that would get me going.
My sock right now is kind of translucent, so you can kind of see my tootsies through it.
I can see a little bit of skin through that.
See? There's a little bit of skin there, and that's my kind of sock. It's like it's the lingerie of socks.
Oh wait, shit! I got like the same socks.
Oh yeah, we got some lingerie socks in this boy.
I've got premium socks. They don't. You can't see my toesies underneath.
So if you're gonna send us pictures of your feet, put socks on for Kyle. Personally, I'm a naked boy. Don't leave anything to my imagination. Just put those tootsies out there. I want to see them.
So basically, 1 foot socked, 1 foot bare is what you want.
That would be the perfect picture. That would really be the perfect picture.
Hopefully, you've got 2 feet.
If you don't have 2 feet, we don't want to discriminate. Just send 2 pictures.
I like role-playing personally. Can you dress your feet up in certain outfits and then put them in certain scenes?
Paint your foot as Mike Wazowski and send it to Evan.
Take a picture of your foot at a fine restaurant.
Send him to Evan's Gmail, evanlovesfeet@gmail.com.
You have to make a Gmail now. evanlovesfeet@gmail.com.
But no, just put it in the comment section.
I guarantee you that's a thing already.
I bet
Go on Gmail right now. Try and create it.
It probably already is.
I bet you it is. But on the off chance email all of your feet pics.
Okay. Look. Don't send it to that email. Send it to 3smartboys@gmail. But instead of E's, they're just 3's. So it's THR33 smartboys, and that's with a Y, @gmail.com. Send your feet to that.
Here, I'll check the Gmail right now to see if
we've got any feet pics.
Well, we didn't give out our Gmail last time.
I mean, maybe they found their way to us, you know?
Andy from Google sent us an email welcoming us to our Google account.
Do you have feet pics, Andy?
No, Andy doesn't have feet pics. That's
I'll ask him for some feet pics.
Reply.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and send Andy an email right now.
Can I get a foot pic?
Hey, let me see those cute tootsies. Oh, wow. Look at him. Did you spell it? Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's hope he sends
emailed Google and asked
no. We emailed Andy.
Andy at Google.
I would like to point out his email was andy-no-reply@gmail.com.
And we replied.
So
does that mean Google breaks if you reply to a no reply email? What happens?
Shit, no.
What happens?
it might just send you an email saying, "Hey, please don't reply to this email."
It probably will.
It probably will just like an automated service.
Maybe it'll just ban our YouTube account.
Oh God.
That'd be hilarious.
It'd be like it's asking for feet. No. Ban. Permaban.
Ban hammer.
Oh, the ban hammer. Rest in peace. All right. Well, yeah. I think we've covered a lot of strong topics.
A lot of feet.
Send your feet. Send
your feet. This has been the 3 smart boys saying send your feet.